Well, hello everyone. Happy Sunday. It's really great to be here on this Sunday evening. And my name is Stu Knapp, and I am
And
with,
my name is Dr. Michael Gross, brought to you by Healing the Holes in Your Soul, written by Tia Knapp.
and the Spiritual Primer, written by this amazing man, Dr. Michael Gross. And I always say this, but if it wasn't for this man and this book, that book wouldn't be here. So, on that note, what I'd like to do is welcome everybody. We have a powerful message, and I'm going to go ahead and we're going to just like get right to work. How's that sound?
That sounds good, but I want to tell everybody that Spiritual Primer is going for the second edition, and it has lots of more information about the 12 manifestation protocols. And it's a very, very powerful workshop that I've done in the past. I will be repeating in the future. But more importantly, I'd like to share that knowledge with all of you. So thank you. Now we'll get down to the nitty gritty.
I read this book, and it's one that's hard to put down. It really is when you get going with it.
Yep.
So definitely get yourself a copy of his new book coming out really soon. It's already gone to the printer, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. So on that note, we're going to get cut to the chase because we respect everybody's Sunday night. It's family night, and right now it's football season, right?
All right.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do the. This is the only part we script because he needs. I just want to make sure I give him credit for everything that he's done, and then some because he's done so much for me. I can't imagine.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. I
It's an
can't
honor.
imagine my life without meeting you. I was exactly what our topic is today, so I'm not going to share that topic yet, but very, very soon. I let you guys hang in there a sec. Okay, Dr. Michael Gross is an author, professional keynote speaker, transformational coach, and an entrepreneur. For more than 3 decades, he's been on a spiritual path as an intuitive, a healer, a spiritual counselor, and an incredible teacher. Through the guidance of spirit, Michael has assisted others in their personal quest for self empowerment, helping them to create the lives that they have long sought and to bring forth their intuitive abilities. Michael currently teaches classes in spirituality, self empowerment, Reiki, and other modalities. Ooh, we went fuzzy.
I know.
Oh, there we are. In concert with God, the true source, he has also achieved great success and miraculous healings. He remains humble, knowing that all his work, it all comes from God, the true source. Michael lives in Lakewood, Washington, and has recently launched his nonprofit. And I would love it if you shared a little bit about that with
Yes.
everyone.
The International Institute of Self Empowerment, as we affectionately call it TISE, TIISE, the International Institute of Self Empowerment. So it's a 501c3, and it's all about helping souls about self worth, self love, and self esteem. And when True Source asked me to set this up, I didn't know what the purpose is, but I'm one of those that don't analyze every little thing because then you get in your own way. So I set it up, and through great, let's put it this way, the name was very difficult. Someone else had a similar name, so on and so forth. But when you're supposed to do what you're supposed to do, then what happens is everything gets out of the way, and I received the designation of a 501c3. In working with Tiu, because I knew there were going to be 12 arms, about her story and how she survived abuse, I decided to make the first arm helping abused women, children, and men. And I said, who would be better than a director of that program than Tiu Knapp? So I asked Tiu if she would be part of that and be director of it, and she graciously agreed. So I'm really honored. So thank you.
I'm honored to put that in my hands. I'm like, wow, that's
Therefore,
amazing.
you'll be hearing more about it. We say this every week, but you'll be hearing more about it, refining it and refining it and refining it. In the interim, there'll be information. If you'd like to make a donation to the 501c3, we would appreciate it. At this point, neither TU and I are taking any salaries or any money out of it. We're just donating our time.
And you know what, Michael? Excuse me for interrupting, but you know what? Before you know it, it's going to be the end of the year. Tax time is coming up. I mean, the holidays are right in front of us. It's not far away.
No. Has everybody noticed how fast, the year is going by? Whether, you're watching this now, and this is in October, but you could be watching this in February next year. But time is really speeding up. And the reason it's speeding up is because there are major positive shifts coming in the world, which I will address in another time. But anyway, let's talk about our subject for today.
Okay, are you ready?
Yes.
Here is the topic. Are you feeling lost? And my answer is, well, I used to be feeling really lost, but I met you and I feel a whole lot better now. Still sometimes get lost though. But if you're feeling lost, here is the gentleman to share his wisdom with you.
Well, thank you. And so, when I talk about it, my motto, one of my mottos, know where you're going, you can't get lost. And if you look at my resume, and I will tell you all that it's very extensive, more than what she has read or will read, nothing was ever planned. Well, we're at a time right now on this planet where all the things what we've done, some are still working well, but a lot of them aren't. And a lot of us are seeking a direction in our life. And what is occurring at this time is there's a major shift coming about. And the major shift coming about is decisions we have to make in life. And there are a lot of people that'll be watching this that said, yeah, I feel lost and I don't know which way to go. There'll be some people that will look at this and say, and poo-poo it, no, 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 no. And there are others that will say they have to make a decision. In the past, I've talked about this as the Great Gathering. And the gathering is when a lot of people of a spiritual nature, whether consciously or unconsciously, are getting together for a specific reason. And that specific reason is to be part of a great change that will be taking place on this planet. Now, if you ask me the time frame, I'd like to tell you tomorrow morning, but that would not be truth. But there is a shift going on. And this shift going on with all of us is we're looking for a direction in our life. And what is our direction? That's what I'd like to address some of this evening. Most importantly, what I want each one of you to recognize is that you're all energy. You've heard this before. So your atoms, particles, molecules, protons, subatomic structure, etc., I call the soup mix, and even more. But all these atoms, particles, or I call it the soup mix, has an intelligence. And this intelligence created your body. You are creating your body 24/7. I'll address that a little bit later in another podcast.
Should have had ice cream, huh?
You should have had ice cream. You would have sweetened up today. Well, when you talk about ice cream, by the way, I reflect when I was in Boston, I have a chain of delis and ice cream stores. So this is the real scoop. I had a lot of fun. Oh, ho, 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 ho. The most important thing, I thought I'd share one thing, are you feeling lost? And how naive. So we had a big sign. The area I was, some of you who are in Boston, was called Faneuil Hall. And we were one of the opening stores. And eventually, we sold it. But what's more importantly, had a big sign. And the big sign with a picture. Frozen banana on a stick, dipped in hot fudge and rolled on nuts. Or in nuts. People would come up, look at the sign. What's a frozen banana on a stick, dipped in hot fudge and rolled in nuts? And I would repeat it, and they go, "Oh, okay." Now, one would think, "Hello."
That's funny.
It is funny, it's unbelievable.
I mean, you just read the sign.
Exactly, but people don't think. And then they would take a look, and we had 64 flavors of ice cream. And they would come up, and we had these glass cases and these big tubs of ice cream. Do you sell ice cream here? Yeah. Yes, we do. Okay.
I'm sorry.
But really what takes the cake, I had a client, we used to make birthday cakes. They're made of ice cream. And so this woman came in the next, bought it Saturday. Monday, she wanted her money back. And I said, okay, well, why? Well, I took the ice cream cake and put it in the refrigerator and it melted. And I just looked at her. It's ice cream. You really don't put ice cream in the refrigerator, you put it in the freezer. So, in dealing with the public, are you feeling lost? Sometimes we don't really think. I know in her mind, cake goes in the refrigerator or leave it out. At least she didn't leave it out, didn't accomplish very much. But it's such a key thing to understand human nature. And the last story I will tell you, the woman said she wanted her money back, and she said the ice cream was terrible. I said, okay, do you have any left? No, everybody ate it. I go, okay. So when I say about feeling lost, is that we've lost our ability to really think. Instead of acting, we are all, well, most of us reacting. And that's so important when we're reacting rather than acting, which follows along to critical thoughts. And how much time do we really spend on listening to the direction in life we need to go, instead of being impetuous and saying, my way or the highway? Well, I would like all of you to understand that you are manifesting your life by your thoughts and your energy 24/7. Remember, what you think you create, what you create, you experience. You're also creating your body. When the mind can conceive, the body will believe. You're doing all that simultaneously, whether you're aware of it or not. But what we have lost is the ability to listen not only to our thoughts of our soul, but also following the direction that our soul is telling us to go into. And your question would be probably this time, how do I know what my soul desires? Well, there's several ways. If you're trying to accomplish something and you're running into a brick wall, little hint there, maybe it's not right for you, or maybe the timing's not right. More than likely, it's not right. And if you're trying to purchase something or get something and you're running into all kinds of opposition telling you at this time, or it's not right for you. But most importantly, in feeling joy and feeling, I should say, joy and happiness, we have to listen to our words. And our words are creating loss, our direction. And you say, well, why? Well, I hope I get this. I wish I get this. I want to get this. I may get this. It's going to happen someday. Well, I'm trying. All these words are limiting. They're talking about either in the present or in the past. But they're not talking in the now. That's part of the secret out of getting and being lost. What you should ask yourself is, am I now in the right direction? Am I now doing the right thing? And if not, then I desire a sign in a way I can't misunderstand that I'm not in the right direction in life. And that's so important. And my famous story about the car that cut me off in Boston because I asked whether I should come to the state of Washington. And I focused only on the license plate, not in the make of the car. I don't focus on license plates. I usually, like the color of the car, or I like the make of the car. I really don't look at the license plates. Although when you're looking at a car from the back, you see the license plate, but that's not your focus. But I focused on it. This is the average person. Well, see, I got caught up in, I cut off in traffic. Oh, that must be a sign not to come to Washington. That's the analytical, logical ego mind. Now the soul mind. I asked for a sign. You had to make it pretty blatant for me not to miss the sign. There's my sign. And so my journey began leaving Boston, coming out here, which was a wonderful decision, in the state of Washington to the West Coast. So if you begin to realize that everybody is now searching, or almost everybody, and they're looking for some kind of harmony and peace, a way to survive, a way to make their life happy. But they're putting conditions on it. And that's the most important thing you need to understand. When you put conditions, what you do is block yourself and create yourself being more lost. And why would I say that? Your soul already knows what is right for you, what is perfect for you. But I hear so many people, well, I want a new car, but it has to have, and but. They go, well, how come, manifest your perfect car? Well, I don't want to miss anything. Oh, go ahead.
Question.
Yeah.
So when we're being analogical, that's our
Ego.
saying yes, but yes, but yes, but, or making it very, very detailed. What you hear all this chatter.
Right.
Okay. I had a question and it kind of slipped away a little bit.
That's okay. Well, when you get it, just let me know.
Okay.
So feeling lost is another part. We talk about the law of attraction. You're lost, you're attracting that, aren't you? And I always talk about the law of attraction. What you think you create, what you create, you experience. Most souls, when you desire something, you go into a litany, long litany of all these things. And I always say, the perfect this or the perfect that. And the answer again, well, what if it doesn't have this? What if it doesn't have that? What if it doesn't have this? Well, but your soul is choosing the perfect. Don't you trust it? And when you don't trust, that's when you feel lost, because you feel directionless. It's like coming to a four-way intersection. Do I go north? Do I return the way I came? Do I go left? Do I go right? What do I do? And then you sit there in a quandary. And then when you finally close your eyes and you ask for a direction and you think you get that direction, then you question, well, is it the right way? Is it going to work out? Just go and find out. And have the patience. Sometimes you have to take 4 steps to get to your final destination. But each step is empowering and enlightening. And that's so powerful for you. The reason I want to talk about are you feeling lost is stop trying to control everything in your life. Why does a person control? And I meditated on that's the true source. And they said because the average human, the average soul, wants to be 100% sure it's going to be the way their ego wants rather than what their soul wants. Remember ego? That old beautiful ego, edging God out, self-satisfying, comes up with every excuse why you should do this or that, even if it's disastrous. Pretty interesting.
So is it the ego telling you when you end up having worries and doubts and fears? Is it your ego feeding that stuff into your
Yes.
head? Okay.
Through every experience that you're challenged is, the first question is to stop feeling lost. You ask for a sign. What am I to learn from this? So important. Maybe taking a left-hand turn when you should have gone right.
Oops.
Maybe you're in the wrong direction. Maybe you need to do more research. Maybe you need to learn more. And that is so important. That's the first thing. The second thing is so many people are visit, what's your opinion? 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 And then you get confused because everybody has an opinion.
And they're not all the same.
No, they're not. And on the other hand, you're looking for the answer. You're looking for the right opinion that you want to feel satisfied with. And I had a student many years ago, and she wanted to start talking books. And this is where you use the tape or CD. So we're going back a number of years. And her husband wanted to buy a new boat, but she wanted to set up this business. And she came to me and I told her, set up the business. It's going to be very successful. Well, she talked to 15 people. She came to class, I talked to 15 or 14 people. Even you got it wrong, Michael. The 15th got it right. 14th said it would be successful, but the 15th said it would be a failure. So I decided not to do it. And I said, well, with those odds, wow, that's pretty incredible. That's like, I don't know, 94, 95% it's going to work. Those are gosh darn good odds. But then afterwards, she dropped out of class and her husband bought her his boat. Because the truth was, she was afraid to deny him his boat because she felt guilty. And he laid all kinds of guilt trips on her. But that was her soul urge. So I don't know what she's doing today. Maybe she's still feeling lost. Maybe she isn't. But at that time, she was really lost.
Wow.
And what a shame, because she had a viable business and it could have done very, very well. So you see what happens? When you ask so many people for an opinion, like, no, don't do that. And they're all of a sudden an expert. And one of the locations I had in my deli and ice cream business was a place called Faneuil Hall. In the summertime, we had 22 to 24 people scooping ice cream from 9 in the morning to midnight. No exaggeration. I am not
Wow.
exaggerating.
That's a lot of ice cream.
And in the winter, it was much slower. But when we decided to go in there, there's a place called Durgan Park across the way, famous restaurant. And the owner we met with him, just ran into him. We had a cup of coffee. Said, "Oh, you're making a mistake. This place is getting old and everything." Okay. But our soul says, yeah, it's going to work. And it did. The point is that you cannot listen to other people. Now you can ask somebody who's an expert in it, and they can give you some advice how to do things. But then when you ask a myriad of people, you get all kinds of different messages. And the last story is one person was saying, "Oh, well, you're doing all this wrong." And I knew him. "Oh, okay." Well, I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, there's a great location, and all you have to do is invest $100,000, and you got great ideas. I can help you find that location, and you'll do really, really well." And he said, "Well, never mind." So that's the other point of feeling lost. And that is the point is everybody's an expert about things they don't know. Now, certainly if I was going to look at the stock market or invest in it, I would talk to Warren Buffett and I would get some wisdom. But even he, in the first early years, made a lot of mistakes, but he became a lot smarter. But I'll share one thing he said. And this woman came to him and said, "I have $10,000 to invest." And he said, "I'm going to tell you what you do first. You have credit cards? Yeah. Pay them all off. Because you're going to make money by not paying 12, 13, or 14% interest. That's your first investment." And it's so important for us to realize what words of wisdom, because he was not interested in taking her money. And of course, he's a billionaire. But the point is, you listen to one person. But if you went to a stockbroker, he'd probably tell you invest in 10 grand. Sometimes you choose one person and you follow it. Don't look for the answer you want to hear. Look for the answer that is right. Most importantly, if you want to get off that track of being in the wrong place and not doing well and feeling lost, all you need to do is when you go to sleep at night, ask for a positive sign or an indication to come forth. That's all you need to do every night. And sooner or later, you will get the answer and you will change the direction from feeling lost now to something that's more positive. It's interesting that we know at this time, when we look at the press, they give you all kinds of news. But the truth is, the press is giving someone more, they're giving you their opinion. Now, there's nothing wrong with it, but don't call it news, right? Call it their opinion. And whether you want to accept that or not, that's so important. So we're winding down, but I wanted you to understand that at this time, it's grave, it's important for you to listen to the thoughts of your soul, asking for signs and following through. It's called the leap of faith. But the leap of faith will bear rewards that will make you joyous and happy. It's not about all the materiality. It's about feeling happy at life, than when you wake up every morning. Ah, what a beautiful morning. I can't wait to go to work. I can't wait to go to mow the lawn. I can't wait to have coffee, whatever it is, because most of humanity has lost that. So I thank you. And I see you're telling me we're running out of time.
Yes, Michael.
All
We
right.
have to give everybody their Sunday night back soon. And we
Absolutely.
always have a few little announcements that we like to throw in here. So why don't you tell everybody what you do on Tuesday nights?
Absolutely. On Tuesday nights, we have Words of Wisdom. And Words of Wisdom primarily means when you call in between 6:30 p.m. Pacific time and 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Ask any kind of questions you desire to ask about spirituality, and hopefully I can answer them. And then I deliver a 10-minute, sometimes 12-minute little messages. And there's 255 or 260 on my lost count of them. But we'll give
There's
you
so
more.
many.
Yeah, we'll give you more and more information about that.
All right.
But I would invite all of you. So tell them how they can get in.
Yeah, it's a free conference call and invite your friends. You don't have to say a word if you don't want to, but if you have a question, definitely speak up, right? The number is 202 926 1059, and the access code
Is 125-446 pound.
he practices every
Yeah,
time.
I
I
do.
know he does. Okay, one more time. That number is 202 926 1059.
And the access code is 125-446 pound.
Oh, I'm scared. Okay. And the recordings, like he mentioned, he's got the 10-minute recordings at the end of the Tuesday night call. And that number for accessing is 434 300 4170.
And the access code is 125-446 pound. So what I want you to know, it's a playback, as I call it, and it goes from number 3 up to 260 or 62. Your soul will tell you, just pick a number. And I can't tell you how many times it go, Michael, it's exactly what I needed to learn. So your soul knows. That's how you begin to trust.
It's amazing how that all works. And every single one of them is valuable golden nuggets. So definitely, you can call in more than one time a day, anytime you want, 24/7. Those recordings are there. And I'll give the number one more time. Okay, it's 434 300 4170.
And the access code is 125-446 pound.
The other thing I want to add before
Yes.
you go on is that Michael has a YouTube channel. And if you go to Dr. Michael B. Gross on YouTube, you'll be able to see all the recordings that we've done every Sunday that we have been recording, coming up on, it's getting close to 2 years. And a lot of his calls are already being delivered there to his YouTube channel as well. So they're coming in every week. There's more calls being added that have been recorded in the previous, months.
Let me explain that a little bit about calls.
All right.
What I call the replay, the 10-minute messages. They're also on YouTube. It's audio. So you can listen to it, when you're driving your car or on your phone or whatever. And so you have a choice. You can just subscribe. Please subscribe. YouTube, Dr. Michael B. Gross. And you can listen to the audio part of it. And have beautiful pictures taken by this wonderful lady.
Thank you.
And you're welcome.
Thank you.
And they're very inspirational. She's an award-winning photographer, and some of my quotes are on the pictures. And that gives you a chance to look at them and listen to them, or you can just listen to them audibly on the phone, whatever you so desire.
It's, these 10-minute messages, roughly about 10 minutes, they're excellent. And like Michael said, pick a number, whatever pops into your head, listen to it. You'll be surprised what you find out that pertains to you in that moment. So,
and then every Sunday, I shouldn't say every Sunday, the second Sunday of every month,
there you go,
we do mass consciousness healing. And I said Sunday, so I am floating. I apologize.
I didn't even catch that.
The second Saturday of every month, we do what we call the mass consciousness healing. And it goes from 9:55 a.m. Pacific time to 11:01 Pacific time. And this is what it's all about. Essentially, what we're doing is asking for healing of Mother Earth, all the inhabitants, humans, animal, mineral, vegetable kingdom. Total and complete healing. In the first 3 to 5 minutes, we chat a little bit. Then we go into silence. And 3 or 4 minutes before it ends, I come back on and talk a little bit. And then it's over with. So if you tune in late, and that's okay, and you hear silence, it's because we're already in a meditative state. But this is so important because we have to change the mass consciousness from fear and being bullied and anxiety and hate and insecurity into love. And once that happens, it will change this planet. And more importantly, I get so much feedback that after they do this for the week or sometimes longer, souls receive so much healing and love, they can't wait for the next month. So share this, and we invite you. And that telephone number is?
I don't know. No. No, that particular number is 202-926-1059, and the code is
125446 pound.
No.
So it's the same number as the words of wisdom on Tuesday evenings.
I was just going to say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Do you want to talk about the cellular release really quick that you're going to do?
Yes.
Just brief.
So I know some of you will be watching this on Sunday, and I'm going to be doing cellular release. So I thought I'd share this with you. And briefly, cellular release means every emotion that you have ever had in your life is stored in your body. So no matter what age you are, just think of all the terabytes, as they would say, of emotion that's stored in every organ, every cell of your body. And what happens after a while is that there's an explosion, figure of speech, not really, but something occurs, an illness or a malady, and it affects you. And how does it affect you? Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. MS, MD, heart conditions, ulcers, diabetes, kidney problems, liver problems, cancer, high blood pressure, all these things affect you. And in my work, working with so many people, beautiful souls, and healing them, when they come down with an illness, and they haven't really cleared the cause of that, because you see, all illness start with an emotion. The emotion starts with the body being dis-ease into a disease. Therefore, many people get cured and then it comes back because they haven't released the emotion. So cellular release says you have the ability to work with the true source to release all these pent-up negative emotions so that down the road, it's not going to affect you. Or if it does, it means you haven't really let it go. But on the other hand, this is a point where you're going to go and get rid of a lot of those emotions. So if you are interested, you can get a hold of me at Dr. Michael Gross, numerical 1.
No, 7.
Yes, thank you. That's a special email I've set up for this beautiful workshop. It's Dr. Michael Gross, Dr. Michael Gross, one word, numerical 7 at gmail.com. Dr. Michael Gross, no period, numerical 7 at gmail.com. Just leave me a note. I'll call you personally and tell you about it. So I would encourage all of you, just like you clean your house, just like you change the oil in your car, just like you go about your life and discarding things that are no longer important in your life, clothing or whatever it may be. Now it's time to do it for your body and your soul. So I would encourage you, all of you, to think about this, because by this time next week, it will already have been completed. So therefore,
it starts on the 14th. So get in touch with Michael before the 14th.
October 14th, 15th, and 16th,
Yep.
2022.
Yeah.
And then I'll be doing this every year.
Yeah, it only comes around once
a
a year, not like the other things that come weekly or monthly, but this is a once a year.
And it will not be recorded.
So to learn more about it, definitely email Michael. And we're done, right?
We're done.
We're so done. I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday. Thank you so much for popping in. And remember this book. The second edition is coming out very, very soon. The Spiritual Primer by the amazing Dr. Michael Gross,
Yeah.
who has a plethora of knowledge to share with us.
And this wonderful book, Healing the Holes in Your Soul, and by this beautiful woman, Tia Knapp, very motivational and very healing. So we want to thank all of you. You have a great day. Have a great week. And I hope everything goes well. Everyone, just know we love you. And you are unlimited. Namaste.
Namaste.